Hi guys, my name is Yeva and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about what to do if you don't like yourself anymore and how to create a new version of yourself. If you're new to this channel, my name is Yeva and I'm a mindset coach for women. I do YouTube videos on here regularly. I try to do them weekly. And we talk about things like this, like the topic of today, manifestation, mindset, or just everyday tips and tricks on how to become the best version of yourself. The thing that you have to realize if you are unhappy with where you are now in life is that you create the reality that you live in through your actions and through your thoughts. So if you don't like the place you are right now in your life, you can completely change that. Whether that is you don't like where you are at mentally or you don't like where you are at physically, that is completely changeable. You have to also understand that you are a completely different version of yourself. Let's say you're 30, you're completely different to how you were when you were 10, 15, 20, even 25, you know? That's the case for a lot of people, and they might not notice that straight away, but that is simply the way it is. You might have changed the way that you look, you might have changed the way that you perceive things, you might have learned more things and just grown as a person. And sometimes we don't even notice that. So it's important to understand that growth happens whether you want it or not. You are going to grow in some way simply because you have to do with other people, you work or you study or you are doing something in your day-to-day life, and that brings you or has brought you to where you are now. Essentially, if you are not happy with your life or who you have become or where you are, the truth of the matter is that you can completely change that, whether that is physically or mentally. So if you feel like you are stuck in a rut with where you are now, that might just be you feeling that way for a moment or a while, but it's not the actual reality because you have the ability to shift your reality. And that can happen if you simply, for example, decide what you want to have in your life or where you want to be in your life now, or what you want to attain, or what your dreams basically are, right? Everyone has dreams, small dreams, bigger dreams, dreams that might seem unreachable. But if they are career dreams, they're reachable. If they're family goals, they are reachable. A lot of things in life are reachable. You just have to have the right people around you, have the right mindset around you, or have the right mindset, and do the work, whatever work might be necessary. So the first thing that you can do is, if you realize that you don't like yourself, and you want to create a new version of yourself, figure out what you want that new version to be like. What attributes do you want that person to have, right? Do you want them to be fit? Do you want them to be mentally really strong? Do you want them to be disciplined? What do you want to be? How do you imagine yourself to be? And here you have to be careful to not pay too much attention to your ego, rather pay attention to your heart, because your ego might be telling you, oh, you have to become this multimillionaire, etc., etc., etc. But that might not be something that you're up for right now, right? Or you have to climb the corporate ladder and do this and this and this because this is what society expects. That might not be something that you want. So you have to make sure you figure out what is important for you in your life, how you want to spend your days, how you want to look, how you want to feel. That is essentially, yeah, who you are basically. And when you have that like written down, or you're clear on that, then it's much easier to think about what goals you want to have. For example, if you want to find someone that's amazing or be in a relationship with a good and kind person, then first of all, you're going to have to work on yourself first to become someone who attracts that type of person into their life. That's the key first. And there are many ways in how you can do that. Then if you want to become a doctor, or if you just want to, work in a certain company, figuring out how do people start working in those companies. If you want to build a family, and you have a partner, thinking of what would be the best way in doing this, how should we do this, etc. If you want to lose weight or gain weight or just be more fit, thinking about where to start. If you have an eating disorder, going to therapy, getting help. If you have a mental disorder or are struggling mentally, getting therapy. So as you can see, it's all about taking steps, because that is how change happens. Change happens when you take steps. If you don't take steps forward, the change is not going to happen. And a lot of the time you're going to feel like you're simply sitting in that rut and nothing is really happening. Obviously, I think it's perfectly okay to have some days where you're just like moody or you're just not up for it. That's normal. But if those are the days that you are only having, it means that there is a type of problem that you have to consider and look into. And getting some form of help, speaking to someone about it, and that would be really, really important, because if you don't have your mental health, everything else doesn't really play that much of a role. Like, your mental health is so super important. So yeah, and if you want to change your physical, understanding that you have to change your mental first in order for the changes to be healthy and long term. That is something that I personally had to, or only understood later. And so in order to physically really change and keep that change, you have to change mentally, become stronger mentally, understand what you are potentially lacking mentally, and working on that. And that's the only way that you're going to change the physical long term and be actually happy about it deep down inside. If you like this video so far, make sure you subscribe to my channel to help me grow my channel and to also be notified whenever I post a brand new video. And for that, don't forget to click the bell button. The truth is also, there's no point in waiting around for someone to save you or someone to, help you. It's down to you to do the work. And when you start doing the work, help does come along, because you do your research for opportunities and change. That's when help comes along. So don't be waiting around for help if you haven't started doing anything yet. Also, a lot of people, and this might be like super hard for some people to agree with, or maybe you'll disagree with it, which is also perfectly fine, but it's my opinion. Obviously, there are so many people that have gone through trauma. Everyone has in some way, shape, or form. Some trauma is more severe, some not so severe, but still everyone's had their fair share in life. I feel like it's so important to take responsibility for moving forward in life. And that can be really, really, really difficult depending on what the person has gone through. That's what I said. If you need help, look into therapy. That's the way to move forward in a lot of cases. But taking responsibility for how you are feeling right now, understanding that it's valid, it's okay, and being responsible in wanting to move your life forward, And there are a lot of victims in the world that, have gone through a lot of terrible things. Hopefully at some point those people feel like victors, not victims, if that makes sense. And that will give them strength over their own trauma, and to feel more in control And then it would potentially be easier to take responsibility and to grow and move forward in life. But I feel taking and if you are, you know, doing fine in life, but you're just not happy with some things that are the way that they are, take responsibility to change them. Take on the work. If you want change, you have to be the responsible one and make the change. That is the message. And I feel like that's really important. And obviously, people screw other people over and make them feel bad. And but you are responsible for the way that you're feeling, and try the best you can in the situation that you are given to feel the best way that you can in that situation. You know, sometimes we have to heal and dwell, etc. But at some point, we have to move forward because what we have gone through has made us stronger. Otherwise, we would have not gone through it. So always keeping that in mind, that there is a rainbow after the rain, after the storm, and you decide when that rainbow is going to occur. If you're not sure exactly what you want to change in your life or how you create a new version of yourself, decide on what you want to feel like, right? What do you want to feel? Do you want to feel healthy? Do you want to feel vibrant? Do you want to look differently? Do you want to have a good mental state, right? How do you want to feel? And what does your heart say? Those are the best things to listen to, because the ego and the fear is very, very loud a lot of the time. So listening to your heart and listening to what your heart has to say and deciding from there how you want to live your life. And that will be the right direction for you. At the end of the day, you cannot expect people to do the work for you. You cannot expect people to take on that heaviness for you. You are on this life journey to figure things out for yourself a lot of the time, right? Obviously, help is there. If help is needed, it will be found. But you can change your life around. And always remember that big things and big changes, they simply need time. And they're day by day steps that you need to take in order for those changes to happen. And if you're gonna take day by day steps, then those changes that you want to occur in your life, they should come from the heart. They should be changes that you really, really want within your life, right? And not just something that your boyfriend tells you he wants of you or someone wants of you. They should be things that you really desire. So if you want to be working in a better position, earning more money, feeling healthier, having a healthy relationship, with your family, with your children, getting pregnant, whatever it might be that you desire, write those things down, because you don't desire them out of the blue. Those desires are there for a reason. And you can totally listen to those desires and listen to your heart and listen to how you can make those desires work. As I said, if you want to work on a relationship, you have to work on yourself first, right? That's always the case. If you want to work on your physical, work on your mental health first. Then comes the physical. When it comes down to jobs, do the research, do the work. Write the steps that you need to take, and at first it might seem overwhelming, but these things are like achieved not overnight, not over a week, a month. They're long-term goals, and you have your whole life ahead of you, right? You have your completely whole life ahead of you, and that's how you have to look at it. So the changes that you're going to make now towards your life, they're going to benefit you throughout your whole life. Not just short term. You're doing this in order to live a better life. So this is the responsible thing to do. Set your goals, write them down, think about them. You don't have to go crazy overboard. You can just start with the things that you really want to change and that are most important to you right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for you. And if you do want one-on-one coaching with me, then make sure you check out my website. You can see the coaching packages there, or just reach out to me over on Instagram. And my Instagram is Your Mind is Heaven. Also, until the 15th of February, there's 15% off on any coaching package that you would book with me. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. And if you like listening to podcasts, have a listen to mine. It's called the Talks with Yeva podcast. I post them weekly, or at least I try to. And I talk about these topics and more, and they're around the same length as the YouTube videos. And yeah, as I said, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Your Mind is Heaven. I also have a Facebook group, which is called the Heaven on Earth Community. You can have a look at that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you enjoyed this video or if it did make a difference to you by giving me a thumbs up or commenting down below. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It means the world, and it really does help me grow.